Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. You heard it here first. The best sports podcast there is, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Man, we got a great episode for you today on June 6th, 2022, man. Hey, it's the month of June. My birthday is this month, so of course I'm feeling great. But no, man, we got a guest later on in the show, Javen Johnson from DePaul University, all about the buckets. Man, and I'm serious when I say he's all about the buckets, man. Go watch the tape, go do whatever you got to do, and catch him live this season at DePaul, man, because, hey, he's all about the buckets. But we'll get a chance to chop it up with him later on in the show today, so I can't wait for that. It's going to be super cool. And also, we're digging into game 2 of the NBA Finals, man. The Golden State Warriors, they beat the Boston Celtics 107-88 in last night's matchup. And look, man, I don't know if any of y'all ever worked in fast food before, but look, I used to work at Subway. I used to work at Subway years, way back in the day, man. Way back there, and I did not like it. Of course, it's fast food. How could you love it? But yeah, man, I just remember days, it was just hectic. It would be hectic. I would be in there by myself. I'm cooking up. Nobody else is there to help me at all. I've been in there all day. The radio don't work. It's burning up. The fan's not working, and I'm just flipping subs, flipping sandwiches. Hour after hour, minute after minute. It was just crazy. But I'd never forget that. But in a way, it kind of reminds me of Steph Curry last night before they actually got some damn momentum. Because damn what the score told you. Yeah, the Warriors won 107-88. It looks like a blowout, but that was not the case. Don't let the score fool you, because before things got out of hand, Steph Curry was in there by him damn self. He was in the kitchen cooking up. Nobody else showed up to work. Everybody showed up late. It was just him. The radio wasn't working, order after order, and this man had to do it himself. Because I tell you what, in the whole first half, the game was pretty close. The game was close. The Celtics and the Warriors, they were all both about striking range, 5-6 points that we witnessed. And Steph was really the key. They forced this man. They attacked him on defense. They attacked Steph on defense, went at him every play, and he did a damn good job at defending, even though there was size mismatches and all of that stuff. But he did his thing on the defensive end, and then he came back down on the offensive end. Forced to distribute the ball, forced to score the ball, forced to rebound, forced to pass the ball, forced to create. This man had to do it all on the offensive end as well as the defensive end. And let me tell you what type of help he received here. The help he received was a Klay Thompson shooting 1 for 8 in the first half. He was 0 for 4 from the three-point line and only had 2 points in the first half. That was the help he received. Well, Jordan Poole looked like he had a good game. You know, you looking at the numbers. No. Them third quarter numbers right there. We ain't talking about, we talking about before the help came, before other employees came to help Stephen Curry in the kitchen. Jordan Poole was broke too. He was 1 for 5 after the first half and only had 3 points there. So I'm telling you, Steph had to will his team and scratch and claw to keep his team afloat. But when they showed up, that's when we seen that big difference maker. That's when we seen the Warriors start to pull that 20-point lead, 25-plus point lead. Because in that third quarter, the Warriors became a different team. As we all know, they've been doing for some years. Ever since they've been winning championships, the Warriors have thrived in the third quarter. Don't be fooled by what you see earlier on in the game. Just wait till the third quarter. They'll tell you every single thing you need to know about this Warriors game and if they'll win or if they'll lose. And then you keep going, man. You keep going into the game where you think, well, how did the Warriors even get to this advantage where the game slipped out of hand from the Celtics when they were only down 10-5? First, this is what the Warriors do. When they get an 8-point lead, it can drastically change. It can change in a matter of seconds just because of the way they can heat up. Their three-pointers are 100% contagious. You might even get lucky and knock down the three. If you out there on the floor with Steph and Poole and everybody and they knocking them down, you might even get, the way they knock down their threes. But looking at it realistically, the Celtics, man, they really fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. They were too generous in game 2. They gave the ball up 18 times and allowed the Warriors to score 33 points strictly off of turnovers. Strictly off the turnovers. You take away those 33 points, this is a completely different game. And then not only were they down 33 points, as the Warriors began to go on their run in the third quarter, what I seen from the Celtics is they struggled. They struggled to score on a set defense from the Golden State Warriors. And credit to the Warriors because their defensive intensity sparked up tremendously, but they struggled to score. The Celtics, they could not score on that set defense. They didn't have the transition ball to depend on and the transition buckets to depend on. And what they did, instead of trying to run plays or do anything organized, they ran to a lot of one-on-one. We seen Jaylen Brown try and force up a lot of buckets that he made in the first half, but couldn't really get them to fall in the third quarter. And then as far as Jason Tatum, he played a pretty good game, but those role players wasn't there. Those role players began to do the same thing as me and you, but they just had a floor seat. They started watching the game. They started watching Jason Tatum go to work, watching Jaylen Brown try and put up a bucket. And then when they get the ball and forced to score, it's like they've been cold. They haven't gotten to no rhythm for I don't know how long. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. And I know game 3 is going to be completely different. Of course, it's obviously a huge game. Any finals game is a huge game. But as far as game 3, man, the Celtics, they have to protect home court. The series has changed now that they stole game 1 and lost game 2. So as long as they protect home court, we could really be looking at an early series in 6. But I personally don't think that's going to be the case. But no, if they protect home court, they got to limit those turnovers, obviously, and figure out a way to score on that set defense. If they knock those 2 things down and can slow the Warriors down in the third quarter, you know, hey. it might go to the Celtics, but of course, you know who I'm rolling with, man. Hey, I need Steph to get this MVP, and clearly he's gonna have to work his ass off to get this MVP. But I love it. It's all good. But stick around, man. We got a special guest coming in, Javen Johnson. He's right around the corner. Let's do it. Stay tight. We'll be right back with the interview. Now, you know, just because you're busy doesn't mean you got to be stressed. I'm crazy busy right there with you, but it can be easier. Next time you're on a run, just make it more fun and listen to The Run with Manny Wilson. It's The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life. Don't let